Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am here with another plan with me in it's Monday's video, you guys. It's this one. It's the one. All right. I am going to be planning for June 6th through the 12th. Is that right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes. Okay. And I'm going to be using the greenhouse gardening kit. One, because I love the colors, but two, my kids, my two older, and then obviously my husband are, even though it's late in the season, they're doing some gardening. So moving into a new house, all that fun jazz, they really want to like start some seeds. And we live so far south that we almost have a 12-month growing season. We live in, I think my husband said it this morning, like we live in season or gardening area, I don't know, zone. There we go. Like 9A. So I think it's more like a 10-month growing period, whatever. The mere fact is I don't have to deal with snow. Okay? So I figured I'd pull out the gardening kit. But I'm not going to talk about gardening in this video. So, you know, it is what it is. All right. So currently, I'm trying to like just get back into the swing of everything. So it's last week. One of the things that's happening is obviously my husband is transitioning from active duty to being, well, retired. I'm gonna zoom in here for a little bit. There we go. That works. And you know, kind of learning some on the job type stuff. That has been interesting because for the past yeah, we're gonna use glitter headers. And for the past 5 years that I've owned this business, 5, 6, something like that, that I've owned this business, the space has really been mine to do what I need to. And anytime I've needed like just some help getting some things situated, he's in there for a very small amount of time. Well, now we're having to figure out, because he will be hired on, and will be you know, working, we have to figure out space for him. So that has been really interesting because we have a lot of equipment. Wow, that train is really, really loud. And I have like a hair that I can see out of the corner of my eye, but I can't like figure out exactly where it is sitting on me. Is it sitting on my face? Is it sitting on my shoulder? Man, I hate when that happens. So it's been interesting trying to figure out like all that space. Like, okay, let's put you here because the big printer, which is, you know, let's put it this way. I may be the one that created the the planner and have done a lot of that, but he's going to be taking that on. And when I was looking for a new printer, I kept him in mind, and I was like, well, wherever this printer goes, that's where your desk is going. So we figured out where the printer was going to go, obviously in the new office, and that means the desk right next to him is the desk that is his. Well, for a little bit it's been housing a couple of printers, and one of them we don't use, but we haven't figured out, like I haven't figured out what I want to do with it. And so he is just kind of just moving about and doing stuff here, doing stuff there. And then finally, he had an online class he had to take. I say he, but we ended up attending it together, and stuff. And I'll get into all of that in just a minute, because everything that I have been telling him, I'll get into it in a minute. So we had to finagle around some printers and stuff so that he could have a computer to sit at to attend this class, this 2-day course, class, seminar, I don't know what it is, this last week. So finding him space, and now he's realized he's gonna need some more space because he actually doesn't have like a workable wall in front of him. So he's gonna have to maneuver things around, and let me just put it this way, he needs to be able to stay on top of making all those planners. So I will do whatever needs to be done in order to ensure that the planners are being made. So, okay. What did I say I was gonna get to? Oh yeah. Okay, so this class we attended is something that's for military people who are getting ready to retire or transition out of the military. And it's for those that are interested in becoming business owners. Well, surprise, surprise. I mean, I didn't know if you know this, but I own this business and I have had to learn things. Did not know that this was, I don't even think this was around when I got out of the military. It may have been, but at that point was not something that I was interested in because I was not gonna be a business owner at that time. I was more interested in being just a stay-at-home mom. So and I did that, just being a stay-at-home mom. I mean, just being a mom in general is hard work. So don't get me wrong there, but I was just interested in just being a homemaker. At that point, that's all I was interested in being interested in doing. So I don't know if it was something that was available to me. At that point, I digress. So one of the things they do is they allow your spouses to attend this class if you're still on active duty. So I was like, sure, I'll attend, but I'm going to tell you that everything they're going to tell you is going to be stuff that you either already know because of me, or 2, doesn't apply to us because we are no longer a startup business. Like, we are generating revenue, and like, we need more advanced courses in this one at this point. And he's like, yeah, I think it'll still be good. You never know. There's all these things that you can, you may not have thought about. And I was like, based upon the course descriptions and the module descriptions, this is for people who have no business background knowledge at all, and stuff. But, okay, we'll attend. And I'm going to preface this that I am not complaining about my husband in any way. In fact, he is the one that was like, why don't you talk about this? Why don't you talk about the aspects of, incorporating me in and the stuff and how it's affected everything and you and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I just don't want to come off as being, seeming like I'm complaining. And he's like, I understand that. I was like, because I'm not. It's a transitory period, and anytime there's a transitory period of any kind, you're gonna have some time where you have to adapt and stuff, and that's currently the phase of life we are in. Okay, sorry, I keep flipping back and forth because I clearly don't know what I want to do. Okay, do I want to use... Okay, I did. This upcoming week's current. Yeah, I saw it. We saw the mess that it was. Okay, I've done a lot of. Okay, so I did pattern boxes on this one. Obviously, there wasn't pattern boxes here. We did solids, which I'm so sad that I didn't. Yeah. Okay, it's been I do a lot of solid stuff, so I'm kind of feeling the push to do some more patterned stuff. And everything. So I think that's the route we're going to take. And I'm going to use these headers, and I'm going to use my 3-spot checklist because they're amazing. And if I can lay things down straight, that would be even better. Okay, so I'm not complaining about my husband at all. But you do have to understand that for our entire marriage, he has always been in the military. And so a lot of things have always had to fall on my plate to do and to take care of. So it's interesting having him home. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying anything. It's just a whole big transitory time that we're dealing with. But yeah, he gave me permission to talk about this. Not that I needed permission, but it is talking about him, and it's one of those respect things. Like, I don't sit here and talk about my kids and the things they're going through unless they've given me permission to talk about it, because it involves them. Okay, I digress. We're getting out of it. So having to try and find him his own little corner has been difficult because we have a lot of big equipment, having to maneuver things around. And currently the table that he is, it's actually a desk. It's not even a table. It is a true functioning desk. Used to be my old desk, but he was like, we had 2 printers on there. One was not working. The other one is the one that I do like a lot of invoices from. And he was like, I need my own little cubby, especially for this class that's going to be happening. So we did that. And then as he was doing the class, he was like, is there a way that we can move this? So we're having to learn, our roles in all of this, and we're having to learn how to figure out space, you know, because we don't know how it's all gonna work. But you know, I mean, we did talk about things and figuring items out for how all of this is going to work. And you know, I have been, God, how long have I been a homemaker? So my husband and I have been married for 16 and a half years. We've been together for almost 17. We got married really quick, guys. Okay. Our oldest is turning 16 soon. And was my second born was 6 months old when I got out. So yeah, so that would make my son 2.5. So I've been a homemaker for 13 and a half years. So that's a lot of years to know how things around the house run, how to get it going. I mean, obviously, you know, when you're a mom and thrown into that mode, you just get it done. And so that's just kind of how it's been, and stuff. And he has always obviously been, you know, in the military, having, you know, being told what to do, so to speak. So I have a lot more experience in this realm, which I know he's going, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you stay self-motivated, because sometimes that's one of the hardest aspects to do. If you are, you know, anybody, it's just a hard thing to do, to stay motivated on your own tasks and stuff. So we are definitely navigating this whole realm. And then obviously, because I've been doing this business for a minute, I know shortcuts, I know things, I know what needs to be done, you know, what you need to do, stuff like that. And so also being the role of AKA boss, that's hard. And yesterday we were packing up stuff, and I was like, okay, I need this is important, you know. And I prefaced it. I said, okay, boss mode, so that none of this is personal. And I feel like, and I don't know, maybe he'll tell me differently, but I feel like that's what I'm going to have to do. Like, hey, I have boss hat on right now. Like, this is not your wife coming at you, personal attack. This is boss mode right now. And stuff. And, you know, and I've had to do that, you know, like, hey, this is not a personal attack. This is, you know, This is me sharing with you things that I've learned over the years that will become helpful to you as you start to take on this aspect. So that was fun, and he laughed at me, which, okay, cool beans. But yeah, so we are definitely learning how this all works and stuff. And I can tell you this one, the key to it all, once again, is communication. If you can't communicate about it, it's not going to work out. So we have been doing a lot of communicating and not taking things personally, because we are definitely in just a whole different realm and transition period. And because I have transitioned out of the military before, I know exactly what he's going to feel. Like, I know exactly the feelings he's going to feel and how it's going to be done. I think there's somebody out in my office. I hear it. Pause. I'll be right back. I'm back. It wasn't somebody in my office. It's on the other side of my wall where our kitchen is, and we live in an old house. That's just really the end of it. We live in an old house, and so the insulation is bad, and we also haven't learned where, like, sounds, like if you hear this sound, this is where it's coming from type thing. We haven't learned where those aspects are. So yeah, but I forget where I was at, but yeah, just making sure that we're communicating through the whole process. And like I said, I know what he's going to start feeling and stuff like that, because, you know, I went through the same things, and that way, you know, oh, no, that's not what I want to do. I don't want that one down there. Ensuring that, you know, everything is good and grand and all that jazz. So I'll let you guys, like, ask. I have a really boring life. I have a really hard time figuring out, like, what to talk about on here, because it's like, do you really want to know about some of these things? It's such a boring life. It's very, very mundane and just easy, and I wouldn't trade it for the world, but boy, it gets, I don't want that much red together, so we're gonna do this one. So, but yeah, moving on to something else, I have been absolutely obsessed with a podcast lately. So I discovered this podcast back when we were moving from San Antonio down to Harlingen. I had discovered this podcast and was listening to it on my drives back and forth, because, you know, that's what we ended up doing, is driving a lot. Not much has changed and stuff, but I stopped for a little bit because I was obviously busy with stuff and homeschooling kids and stuff, but now we're kind of in the mode of summer. Although, guys, if you want, you can always tell your kids that I'm the meanest mom in the world, and when they say, oh, you're such a mean mom, you can use me as an example. So I told our children we were taking off pretty much the entire month of May due to a move. However, that does not mean that they were done with school and stuff. And I said, we have to take the break because of the move and getting everything done. So when we get things situated, we're gonna jump right back into our school year. Got it? And they were like, okay, cool. Which means that my kiddos will be schooled quite possibly through the summer. Yeah, so if you want to use me, I did not want this to happen like this, but it's happening like this. If you wanted to use me as an example to show how mean, like, you can totally use me as an example to be like, she's a mean mom. She's a mean mom. This, see, I didn't want all this red, and then I'm still having all this red together. Just, you know, based upon last week, we just know that this just isn't my thing. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to pull out the functional sub again because I really want to do the 7 sticky notes again. So, April, are you gonna be my saving grace? I always look at the sticky notes because that's the one that like gives me the best coloring. That red, I don't obviously want the red because we just got done with red, but yeah, I look at the sticky notes because the sticky notes just are big and so saturated. But yeah, so you can use me as an example that I am the meanest mom in the world, because my kids will be I like this orange. I think this orange is gonna do good. Making my kids go to school through the summer because we took a month off, which that is, for us, has been one of the best things about homeschooling, is that it has allowed us to move during the times that we have needed to. So I feel very, very fortunate about that. But I digress. So I have been listening to a podcast, more of a podcast, while I have been working, and it's morbid podcast. It's a true crime podcast, but anyways, I'm just kind of obsessed, and I would just randomly go through and just pick out what episode I wanted to do. And then just recently I was like, you know what, I want to see how they grew. Because obviously I started listening with most recent episodes and stuff, and I was like, I want to see how they grew. I want to see the changes, because there's a lot of research that's involved, which is like totally my jam, and so I'm kind of just obsessed with that notion that they do so much research. But it's like I want to see this growth. That's what I want to see. And so I went back all the way back to the beginning, and you know, they obviously covered like the traditional type serial killers that everybody knows about, and I was interested to know about that. Fun fact, because I was just listening to them doing their Ted Bundy case, the mall that he went and attacked a girl at that ended up getting away, he was like posing as a police officer, saying that, you know, she was like, her car was being broken into and all that stuff. That mall, I actually worked at that mall when I was a teenager, and I frequented that mall as a child and everything. In fact, when the whole killing spree of Ted Bundy was going on and he was at that mall and in Salt Lake City, many of the places that he frequented and stuff were places that my mother and her friends and, you know, my aunts and uncles frequented too. So I was like, what are the possibilities that one of my uncles or something saw Ted Bundy at one point? Like, that would have been bananas. Anyways, fun fact. So I'm a little obsessed, and I love true crime. So, and for the longest time, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for my sidebar. For the longest time, I ended up taking a lot of criminology classes alongside my psychology courses. So I was going to, oh man, that's orange and orange. I don't want to do that. Shoot. But I don't need, okay, we'll figure this out. I'm gonna go shenanigans. I'm gonna do this. I wanted to do something a little bit different, but it's obviously not going to pan out that way, which is just fine. don't fix what isn't broken type thing, right? Okay, so I have to kind of pause for a second to think about what are some of the things happening this week, and I definitely need to have a habit tracker to kind of keep me on track. For a project I have to start finishing up, so we'll do that. Let's see. So, but like I said, I decided to go back all the way to the beginning to listen, and they started this podcast, back in 2018. So I got a lot of episodes that I'm going to end up listening to. Some of them I've heard of, some of them I have never heard of. So I'm a little fascinated and stuff. So that's what I've been doing, which is fine. I'm gonna actually move this down and butt it up against this here and see if I can fit another glitter header in here. But I'm kind of ahead on reading for book club, so I don't want to start the next book just yet. There we go. I don't want to start the next book just yet until we've done the other book chat, because I have opinions about the upcoming book chat. I was not a fan of the book, spoiler alert. So yeah. Okay, so I think I have everything. Yes, I love that orange. I think it matches in really, really well. It's a little bit brighter than the normal orange, like the orange that's in here, but I still think it does just a phenomenal job. And we are good to go on this. So, however, one of the things, this is just a total ending thing. One of the things that I actually do is usually when I'm done with this, like I'll throw this stuff away. I know that's probably like, why are you doing that? However, I went to go plan with my, to schedule my B6 plan with me and pull out my kit and everything. And the kit I decided to use, I was like, or wanted to use, I was like, crap, I should have saved the stuff from that previous kit so I could use it in here. Things I'm going to start doing now. When I am done with this, I am going to actually take this and put it with its coordinating week/B6 kit. That's what I'm going to start calling them now, because they work so well in B6s and because you can get B6 washi for it now. Anyways, I digress. I'm going to start adding that so that when I do that, I actually have the stuff that comes to it and I'm good to go. So, but normally, if I have an extra page, then I just put it back into our inventory box to add back into our inventory counts and stuff. But yeah, so anyways, weird plan with me, multiple subjects, lots of segues, pause because clearly I don't know what the insulation in my house and sound like just yet. We'll get there. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Everything will always be down in the description box below. And yeah, make sure you comment, make sure you comment, make sure you're subscribed. And yeah, I gotta figure out my new outro. That's what I want to do. I need to stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe. Great things to do, but I want something just a little bit different. And I want to transition kind of maybe what we talk about on here. So let me know some things that you would like me to talk about during my plan with me's. Obviously, if I'm writing, I'm gonna have to pause because that's my gum chewing and walking moment. But yeah, you know. Anyways, let me know what you want me to talk about down below, because let's make this fun and exciting while planning. And things that'll be coming up, all that fun stuff. Anyways, all right, guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye now.